Gods used to represent the unfathomable workings of the natural world. The sky, earth, the seas, moon, stars, sun, rain, wind, thunder, love, fertility, death, time, and eternity. We now no longer pay much attention to these things. In the theater, the climax of the action sometimes came in the form of an improbable intervention of fate, known as a deus ex machina. Now the gods really do come from machines, and they rule our lives. These modern gods are like the ancient ones in that we cannot control them, they often cannot control themselves, and we have no idea what makes them tick. They simply are replacements of the old order, and because of them, our lives remain unpredictable. Here is a preliminary attempt to catalog some of the great American deities of the late 20th and early 21st century. People worship these gods by using them, thus bringing them to life. Use provided people with the illusion of control. Concepts like faith and belief became outmoded. Use was enough for a god to exist. Corporations. These were not gods themselves, but intermediaries, the representatives of the gods. They were a race of giants who behaved as if they were gods. They had their own way among men until they began to make war among themselves. That struggle altered their very existence. One by one, the giants began to merge and form a race of supergiants, known as conglomerates. The conglomerates were truly gargantuan creatures. Some of them were hideously deformed. These titanic monsters easily defeated the older, lesser corporations, sometimes by crushing them, other times by swallowing them whole. It was a gruesome, ghastly period. In order to defend themselves, many of the corporations were forced to merge on a friendly basis. Those who did not often became the victims of a terrible attack known as a takeover. Stories of rapacious takeovers dot the mythology of the times, as one old giant after another found itself seized and taken, ravaged to the core, then chopped up and discarded in pieces, all without pity or remorse. Pill. Pill was a god that made sex worry-free. The worry was that sex would lead to children. Many people didn't want kids, but they couldn't get enough sex. For them, Pill was a great blessing. After the coming of Pill, itself a child of drug, sex led to nothing. This made it an intensely personal experience for the participants. Yet no one knew exactly what it meant anymore. When it was over, people would ask each other, "Was it good for you?" Pill made sex an end in itself. Because it no longer led to procreation, the concept of heterosexuality had little meaning, and homosexual and bisexual became equally valid expressions. Monogamy was also invalidated by Pill. Because of Pill, people could relax and have sex just for the hell of it. This was called recreational sex, a sport like football or bowling. As in those sports, success in this endeavor was known as scoring. For a while, people enjoyed a lot of sex, with much scoring, so much that they got bored with it and began to prefer a night alone with TV, especially after TV went cable. By then, sex was not only an end in itself, it was a dead end. Sex became associated with disease, and people died from performing the act that was designed to bring life into the world. TV. This was a parallel world that existed in boxes found in every home. Some homes had several boxes and much TV. As many people believed in TV as did in phone. Some people called TV a vast wasteland. Some said it was harmless fun. Others called it a miracle. The majority could not tell the difference and did not care. They simply liked TV. People in general revered TV, considered it a good friend, a member of the family, and spent many affectionate hours with it every day, listening attentively, laughing occasionally, and watching it without ever once interrupting. TV did all the talking and was even capable of laughing at itself. Viewers grew to know and love the people who lived in TV more than the ones who lived around them in their own world. The people who lived in TV earned megabucks and were objects of tremendous curiosity to the people who did not. Sometimes they got terribly mixed up between their TV lives and their not TV lives. While real life was relatively undifferentiated, TV was rigidly divided into segments known as programs. They were of fixed duration and predictable mood. Some of these segments were intended to provoke laughter, others excitement, admiration, apprehension, fear, envy, superiority, or desire. Viewers of TV had a choice of which to watch and were therefore in charge of programming themselves. One question everyone asked about TV was, did it cause violence? There was a great deal of violence, and many people watched TV, so it seemed TV might be a logical place for blame. This was never finally proven, however, nor was it ever known with any certainty if TV caused anything. Yet people were hooked on it, which is why many said it was another form of drug.